grabbing jerk baits, crank baits, you know, and if I can get away with throwing square bill, I'm going to try to throw the square bill, even if I'm over deeper water. A lot of times, bass, especially when they're feeding on shad, they're going to be looking up, they're feeding up, and you're cranking, you know, if you're cranking a square bill over a weed line, and the weed line is 15 foot of water, as long as that square bill is just coming right above the grass line or barely in contact with it, those bass have no problem coming up to smoke it. Same goes with the jerk bait. And sometimes when stuff gets too thick, I like to throw a fluke. You really can't beat the Zoom fluke. You know, you just can't beat it. That's my favorite, my absolute favorite soft plastic is the Zoom. Hold up on this bass here that I spotted. Looks like it's a male guard in the bed. I'm gonna throw a couple different things at it, but first I'm gonna try to put a jerk bait right in front of him. And because it looks so much like a minnow, a lot of the times they'll actually suck that jerk bait up because it sits right and strikes. I mean, it's sitting right in front of his face. Let's switch off to a jig. Everything's telling the bass he wants to eat it, but instinct are telling them to guard the bed. Sometimes you just gotta push them right there over the edge. And they'll take it. They will take it. Sometimes you just gotta be stubborn with them. Put a lot of hours on the lake, and I've fished bedded bass since I was really young. There he is. Boom. Oh yeah. Oh, this is a nice bass. Wow, this is a good bass. Oh, good bass. Wow. Absolute beast. Oh man, he's trying to shake it too. He's not gonna shake it though. Wow. Oh yeah. That's a beast. That's a beast. That's a 5 or 6 pound bass. That's a beast. Wow. Oh, he's barely hooked now. He's shaking hooks. He's shaking hooks. I just gotta get him up here. I'm gonna lift the shit out. I just gotta tire him out. Oh my God, it's the pig. Oh my God. Absolutely. Get tired. Absolutely. Oh, I got him. Is a pig, baby. Oh man, that's a pig. Woo! That's a good bass. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a beast. Throwing the jerk baits, even in the bed sometimes. Sometimes they're not willing to pick up those jigs off the bottom, those crayfish, those lizards that we like crawling through the beds. Sometimes you gotta put them guys right next to them. Oh man, that's a beast. Take a look at that guy. Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful bass. That is a beautiful bass. And good fish for Michigan, it really is. Not a huge bass anywhere else, but you can see there, see? He's been caught before, his jaw's torn there. But I'm gonna get him back in the water. So. Really impressed with these new Hyperion reels from 6Gill. Fish a lot of different reels. Mostly I'm an Abu Garcia guy. I love my Revos, but I decided, hey, I'll give this one a try because they were running the promotional code. Picked up 2 Hyperion reels. They're $150 a piece, $160 a piece. I think I got both of them for 180 bucks because of a promo. Look, all I know is I spent 2 days now fishing this thing. I've caught a couple nice fish. That last big pig we pulled was on a different reel, but I've caught a couple good fish in the 2-3 pound size range on the Hyperion. Handled everything so well, so far so well, and I haven't had any drag slippage. Now it doesn't have the most drag in the world. I think it's only got 16 pounds, but so far it's handled everything. And I will say, this thing cast like an absolute beast. Like I mean, my other video, I pulled this thing right out of the box. Did a quick tune on it, set the bait up, and boom, and this thing was just casting fantastic. I didn't take it apart, didn't put any real butter in it, no line conditioner. This thing just casts like an absolute beast, and I'm talking with some small square bills. Like these are just, that's no beast, you know, that's a tiny little 1.5. Seems to cast good right there. Right off this point here on the jerkbait. Oh yeah, there's another good one. There we go. Decent little fish. Nothing great, obviously, but working that jerkbait. On the jerkbait. A lot of times when you're jerkbait fishing, you gotta figure out what they're hitting that day. Like I said last week, I was catching those females. I didn't have to pause it at all. I mean, I could jerk that thing all the way back to the boat, and they were smoking. It seems this week there's one. This week they want it on that pause. You know, there's one. Little guy again. So. This was tournament and I was fishing with my partner or just even by myself. This was tournament and I just caught this little tiny male bass right here on this flat. I go back in with that rod right there, something with the plastic on it, and I would attempt to catch a bigger fish directly below that area, that zone. Because what it tells me every time I catch a fish, it tells me if there's fish in the area. And when I'm fishing, I like to stay in fish. And usually you can work that area, different you know, locations of how you're casting, especially playing with the wind. You know, it's a big key. Right now I'm casting into the wind. I just fished this line going that way and I didn't catch anything casting with the wind. Just turned back around, casted second or third cast into the wind, picked up the bass right away. And that's because the wind's blowing this way, all the bait fish are getting pushed this way. So what the bass will do is they'll sit pointing that way, waiting for the fish to basically, or the prey, to come into their mouths. There's another one on the jerkbait. See, like I said, I'm catching a lot of these small males. It's making me think that those females are sitting out deeper. Turn the camera off for a second, and I just caught an absolute, God damn it, see, I'm trying to talk to the camera, I'm not being smart. It's gonna mess me up, but anyways, I caught an absolute pig of a bluegill. I mean, look at that sucker. That's pretty good bluegill. Look at the back on it, real thick. There we go. Thick back on it. And that's a nice bluegill right there. Anyways, smoke the jerkbait. It's pretty funny. Seems like this week that jerkbait bite has slowed down quite a bit. I'm catching mostly males, smaller 14, 12, 14 size. But which makes sense because I just caught that pig over there on the bed and that was a male. Some of the females are done spawning, so they're probably out deeper trying to get some of their strength back. Maybe we'll pick them up again on the jerkbait. If not, I gotta go deep in with the jig or Texas rig, something down there to walk the bottom. Post spawn is an entirely different thing, you know. So like the spawn season is gonna go on now. Here's another one. I just missed it because my freaking rods were in the way. Post spawn spawn's funny, you know, the fish. Because pre-spawn you toss big, massive trailers on all your jigs. You know, you can toss big crayfish, big beaver tails, whatever. It doesn't really matter what you toss it. The bass love it. The bass are gonna smoke it. Post spawn, those females, those big fish that you're targeting, they want small or sleek profiles. They want something that's easy to eat. They don't want that much energy going into their chase. They don't want to feel like they have to fight for their meals. Especially those females, now that they've spawned, trying to get some of their energy back, so they're feeding on stuff that's easier for them. That's why I switch over to a lot of zoom trick worms, you know, something with a straight profile. If I'm fishing craws, I'll switch over to like a Ike's Devil Spear because of the profile, and you get a little bit of that swim bait tail action. I will say swim baits, I love swim baits post spawn. You know, just because anything with a minnow profile, the fish still like to eat. But if I'm fishing off the bottom, I try to make it easier on the bass. There's no one. Maybe I try to make it easier on the bass by tossing something that is, you know, simple to eat. Something that doesn't look too large. You know, so I may even switch down to the junior size of this, you know? When you're fishing a Vision 110 or any kind of jerkbait, post spawn, you might get more bites. If you switch from something that's 3.5 inches to, or whatever this is, you know, a 4-inch jerkbait, you switch down to something that's 3 inches or something that's 2.5 inches. You get into a smaller size, same profile, same action, all the same different characteristics that make the fish like the bait in the first place, but a little smaller profile. Sometimes those fish will take it because they think it's an easier meal.